What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Final Fantasy 16. In the last episode, we made our way here to the Lazarus district, and we saw Wade for the first time in a long time. If you remember correctly, Wade and Tyler were our first two party members back towards the beginning of the game when we went to the Stillwind Marshes. So yeah, Wade has finally returned. I believe Tyler did die at Phoenix Gate, though. I'm pretty sure.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buett Bridge and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
So Wade, the bearers from Old Hill have been laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
I'm always ready.
Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
Quest accepted. Black or white? Party members. Throughout the main scenario, Clive will often be joined by various companions who are keen to lend their assistance. However, depending on Clive's destination, they may choose to remain behind at the hideaway. Okay. So our party members are Torgal and Jill, which is Shiva, and then guest Wade. Dang.
We'll show them as much mercy as they did our sisters and brothers in Old Hill.
Less if I have my way.
You're telling me that's the Archduke's son?
In the flesh. Saw him once when I was your age.
We'll show them that the fire in our hearts is not so easily quenched.
The Black Shields won't know what hit them.
Buck up, man. At least you're not dead.
I suppose we owe you our thanks. You spared us when you could have just as easily sent us to the mud.
Well, wouldn't be very fitting of a main character to do something like that. It's not like he's a heel in the WWE or something.
You are welcome to what little we have managed to salvage. I will be here should you need aught else.
Alright.
We'll keep them from the bridge. Don't you worry.
You'd better. Brother Wade's life depends upon it.
May the
All right.
blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
Don't need it.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village, we tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Run like the wind.
Bullseye. Oh, bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. Bird, bird, bird.
The bastard alone.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
Gotta get off the chocobo there.
What is it now? I told you.
We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame!
That's what you think, buddy.
Forest area!
Forest area!
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Another wyvern to fight their battles for them. Nice try.
More dragons.
Works. The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
Holy crap.
You're finished.
There we go. For some reason when I... Oh, there's another one of those guys.
Almost stand. Albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
It's Ball's stomach. It's Night of the Lasting Dark. Oh crap.
So Wade,
Found. There's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
We finish him.
How did that hit me? Oh, that was fast. Beat him in 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes. For beating that boss, you get 210 EXP, 180 ability points, and 1215 gil. Imperial Link, Dragon Talon, 20 War Rights, 6 Sharp Fangs, and 12 Magic Ash.
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud. My, Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it, as we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die, and her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
So I guess since I was talking about party members, do we get to pick our party members later? Black or white complete, 260 EXP or 250 EXP, 20 renown, 1080 gil. That's the third one of those dragoons we fought in the game. They're like the dragoons are like salt and pepper. You just gotta keep fighting them.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
Burnt blade.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you.
Why would I deserve to get attacked, though?
Thank you, Sir Wade.
You think Cloud's can go join the dark side or something?
I know. Go on now, my lord.
Port Isolde. It's where Cloud's uncle lives. Rosfeld Manor. We're meeting with his uncle now, I guess.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. He means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rossfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue. You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you.
His brother passed away, but he's still here.
You always were fond of that scene from The Saint in the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford. So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster.
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. It's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
Your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy. But now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass.
Cutlass? You just had an axe.
This will be fun.
Why would you need a cutlass when you have an axe? Sticking it with a spear helps too. Had to throw a ball of the year reference in there.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that Lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could.
Man, Jill's so hot.
And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
Alright, so let's go back to the hideaway. Here be monsters.
Only the Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
Okay, so doesn't look like there's any new what is it, hunts available, but we got a new orchestrion, maybe new reading table. Let's go to the we're not going to do a whole lot in this episode because I'm pretty much going to end here shortly, but
That monster's taken quite a liking to live.
And what can I do for you? Go on then. You'll not find a better price than that. Finished, are you?
let's go to the reading table real quick.
Headlands wouldn't be half as bad.
You know what this reminds me of here? The Hall of Memories. Martell apples. It reminds me of the Sky Pirates Den from Final Fantasy 12. You remember how it had like where you could view? It was like trophies, except the game didn't have like trophies back then because it was on PS2. It was kind of like achievements, but not really achievements. Or trophies, but not really trophies, you know. That's why that kind of reminds me over there. Okay, we got 3 letters here. An apple a day. Lad from the yard ran up a basket of martels just this morning. Sweet as honey and crisp as the morning breeze they were. I told myself I was only going to have one, but I reckon if no one else listens to old Otto, I don't have to either. You let Nigel and his lot know they have done a fine job. What a time you'd catch none but Sid supping on these. What for their foul bite, but for him it never were about the flavor, but about what they represented, our ability to make it our own. And look at us now. Sid would be proud, Otto. A flame none brighter, my lord Marquess. I ask once again for you to forgive my men, for your welcome back at the Lazarus. But certainly you can understand that you were the last person any of us were expecting to see at our gates. In the short time since our reunion, you have shown yourself to be the self-same man I followed into Stillwind those many years ago, a true bearer of your father's legacy. If only Sir Tyler, the Lord Commander, and all the others who were lost that night were still with us to see how bright your flames now burn. To you and your calls I hereby pledge the swords of the Guardians, and am proud to stand alongside you once again, Wade. All quiet in the Dominion. The Dalmex and the Imperials are at a standoff. They snarl at each other, fangs barred like slum curs, but neither wants to make the first move. It is almost as if they both realize what a stinking pile of chocobo shit they've stepped in. If I were a man to lay wager, I'd put my copper on this conflict, not playing out anytime soon. I shall keep you apprised. Gav. Alright guys, that'll be it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. How many points to put in anything? I'm gonna try this move out. Leveled up again there. I'm actually gonna put that on my bar instead of that other lightning attack. Do you actually do that? So I could put like... Yeah, I could technically use. Okay. So you could use, but you could put Ifrit on either one of these. So you could basically swap Ifrit out for one of the other elements if you want to. If you don't want to have like Garuda or Ramu, you could just do Ifrit. So it gives you choice. Alright guys, that'll be it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. Later.